We continue our study this week by reviewing the book of Esther. Esther is the last book of the 12 books of history. The author of Esther is unknown. It is a historical chronicle built around the life of Esther. Ancient Jews loved the book and ranked it second to the Pentateuch. It gives a valuable picture of court life under the Persian kings. It provides an insight into conditions that the Hebrews of the dispersion were faced with. As we look at the map, we see that Persia had conquered a large portion of territory. In fact, it was the largest and most powerful kingdom at this time. The capital was here at Susa. What are some reasons maybe as to why the book was written? One would be to give a true historical record of the rise to the queen's throne by Esther and deliverance from Haman's death decree. To explain maybe the origin of the national holiday of the Jews called the Feast of Purim. It tells why or how God saved hands of an enemy by the placing of Esther, a Jewish girl, in the role of queen of the great Persian Empire. Let's now look at some interesting points about Esther. It is one of only 2 Bible books devoted to the life of a woman. The name of God is not mentioned in this book, yet no book of Scripture shows more of God's providential working than Esther. Events of the book are in chronological order. Her name, Esther, in Persia means Star of the East. In Hebrew, it means the myrtle tree or a lovely flowering shrub of Palestine. She was a Jewish orphan girl that was raised by her older cousin Mordecai. She became queen of Persia when the former queen, Vashti, was removed. Her husband was king. The king was Ahasuerus the Xerxes. What are some lessons that we can learn? Well, the modesty of Vashti and not exposing herself to men is seen in chapter 1, verses 11 and 12. Certainly that is a good lesson for today. The destructive influence of strong drink is seen in the conduct of Ahasuerus toward his wife in verses 10 and 11 of chapter 1. We also see the evil influence of false pride as Haman had, who would kill a man who would not bow before him. We also learn to try and fail is not sin, but faithlessness is. We learn that we will always be more than conquerors through him that loved us, as we read about in Romans chapter 8, verse 37. And then, as we see, the Most High ruleth in the kingdoms of men, as we compare that to Daniel chapter 4, verse 25. Esther, good book.